Hey everyone, today we got some old Converge figures. I guess I'm gonna go out of order. We're gonna do Wing Gundam Zero. I gravitate towards that because it's like the star of its own show called Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. I did watch this video series, I think it was like 50 episodes on Gundam Info, but I'll be honest with you, I think I fell asleep through half of it because it wasn't really very exciting. No comedy, really depressing stuff, usually Gundam stuff. I like the toys more than the actual cartoons. But here's a blurb of information. If I recall, it's basically it has a bird mode that goes faster, and then something about the system I think made people go crazy. Alright, anyways, let's look at some images from the same site. Okay, so this is one of the first, I don't know what wave it is, it doesn't tell you, but it says 2013 is the one that came out, and then here are the other suits from this wave. And it's going to have the silly foot stands. But let's open this up. See how old this gum is from 2013. Wow, amazingly, you know, for 2013 gum, that's actually not as bad as I've seen in the past. Yeah, there's a clear foot stand that is a total waste of plastic in almost all instances. Maybe one or two of my figures, actually, the stand makes sense to have. That's gonna go in the trash. Here are the wing parts. But these are not the wings of... Oh, I think this is the Endless Waltz version. I have the wrong images. Yep, my bad. In the box it actually says EW version right under there, so I should have caught that. I did not. I have not seen Endless Waltz. It looks kind of cool, but here's some information on this one with feather looking like wings. Alright, so something. I almost don't want to read this because I want to watch the cartoon first. Okay, so I'm going to close that out. Let's just look at the images. Let's just appreciate this robot not knowing what it is about. I will say these older first 20 waves, they have nicer details than the later ones, I think. So yeah, nice molded details, painted red. The legs are matte finished white, but the blue is kind of glossy as well as the feet. Actually, the red and blue are glossier than the white, it seems. Unfortunately, this green is not very bright. It would have been nice if that was a metallic green. This gunmetal looks okay, the neck is white, and then we have a gunmetal here for the backpack, and some stuff is going to peg into it. You'll notice it stands on its own. Alright, let's look at the head here. Now, those are cool eyes. Those are the green I like. You know, translucent green, and some sort of details behind on the back surface. Here's the antenna piece, and that seems like a long peg, so I don't think that's going to fall out too easily. Let's pop that in. Alright. Unfortunately, no extra paint in the middle of that thing. We do have a red chin, though, and then we have some blue, like, ear, wing-looking things. Oh, no chassis number. A lot of the old ones, they actually mold the chassis number into the thing. Oh, here it is. So, yeah, 00... I don't know what that letter is. Something G. Anyways, that's supposed to be the chassis number. You notice the peg is on the head and not on the body. So this hand here, the left arm, actually has a slot to hold a weapon, and it seems to have two identical rifles here. I think, yeah, they're supposed to combine based on that image I pulled up, but these do not. But we'll just pop this in here. The hand has no articulation whatsoever, it's just part of the arm molding. Alright, so same with this side, mirror image arm. So the arms have a little yellow highlight there on the blue, right? It's okay. The hands are really big, comically large, but these are deformed figures, so I guess it's okay. I do feel like that peg should be longer. Like, they could have easily made that hole longer, but if you play around with it, it's going to get awfully loose. But anyways, articulation-wise, you can pretty much look wherever you want. Alright, so then we have a bunch of wings. They literally look like feathered wings. These must peg into these. They have a little L shape to them, so I think this is for this side here. Wiggle that in. I feel like these were probably PVC and soft 10 years ago, but they feel like they've hardened up quite a bit. This has like a T shape, this one. Anyways, they're molded nicely, right? You can see the little grooves and all that stuff. And then I don't know if there's left or right. Doesn't seem to have any printing on it. But they're round pegs, so you can just flip-flop them around to basically look like however you see fit. See, the head fell off because I think that peg is too short. So that's one way to go about it. You can have the wings like that. The more vertical they are, the more they clear the shoulders, it seems. So that's pegged in all the way. In the front, this leading edge has a lot more detail, so whether the wings are on correct or not, I'm going to leave it this way. Yeah, so there's that head problem again. Alright, I just jammed it as far down as I could, but see, it doesn't actually turn left or right. It actually wants to raise up. Whatever. It's got two guns pointing forward, so I'll just have the head pointing forward. Okay, we'll get back to that later on, but it looks pretty good. I like it. So here's the fandom on the MS-14 Gelgoog. It's part of the Zeons, so the bad guys of these Gundam series. A little blurb of information. 3 Bizik Zeon manufacturers were used to put this together, and it was the first suit to have beam weapons somewhere in it, it said. Okay. Oddly, there's no photos on this one. It only has listings of all the variations of Gelgoogs. So that's all I can show. Sorry. So yeah, this is it. It doesn't have an A or any letter after it. It's number 49 in the lineup, and it came out in 2012. The other ones in this lineup are these guys here. I think I have the GM Custom. I might have this one too in the ball as well, and that Zaku. Anyways. If you like Converge, you can just look up Converge in my thing. You know, this might be the first one I've seen with a piece of paper inside of it. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Now see, that's what I'm more accustomed to seeing. That's gross. Yeah, and it has a silly foot stand again. That's going to go right into the garbage barrel, sadly, and pollute the planet. Break them all apart because it's usually stuck paint, but I don't rotate it because I don't want to twist the peg off. I just wiggle it back and forth, and hopefully that's enough to break the paint. But as you see, this one is definitely stuck. Just wiggle it just a little bit. Yeah, you can really see it tore off the paint there. Same with the head. Does this thing come off? It must come off, right? Well, maybe not. This says it looks like it has a square peg in there, but I've already taken it off enough. That's weird. Why would they do that? You know, why wouldn't it be round so you could pose it? What's really funky is these pegs aren't even lined up in the same orientation. You know, they have different sizes, so you can't mismatch the arms, but it looks like this is angled a little bit, and it looks like that's angled more, but maybe I'm mistaken. It is PVC. You can dip it in hot water and it'll correct itself. Mediocre details on the bottom of the feet there. They are like a matte dark gray, where we have a lighter gray up here, and that darkness again is like a olive color, a light olive maybe. Definitely looks military, but it's not very matte actually. Now I think about it, other than the feet, there's kind of like a glossiness to it. You can see the light reflecting off of it. It's just different, I guess. Alright, well, let's put the arms on first. So the hand is just molded in. Got a little spiky thing here, a little hole for the shield, I imagine. It actually has an L, but, you know, I don't know how you could mess this up with the pegs being that different in size. I kind of wish the pegs were still the same size. It's just so you can see it with the arms reversed. Even though that wouldn't make any sense. So this one here doesn't have a hand because the hand is already on the weapon and it's a different color, so that's nice that you have those different. The top of the weapon is nicely detailed. Look at all those details molded in. But unfortunately this thing is looking kind of lame, how it's just blanked off like that. Yeah, it's weird. They should like just redesign the gun entirely so it looks cooler. Like don't have a finger guard. That's a really small stock on this thing too. I'm actually surprised they molded the stock so small. Alright, well, I gotta say, at least the hand color matches the arm color very nicely. And there's really no collision until you go out here. But, yeah, okay. So that's good. The head here, we have a mono eye that I believe would rotate. And it's got nice, like, almost looks like a tire tread detail in there. So then we have the head, and that's just gonna peg in here. I find that, well, yeah, that's kind of short. I think you'll probably want to crazy glue that together. Just make sure you don't get any glue on the area where the thing rotates. But I think if you put some right there, you know, you'd be good. Yeah, so sadly you can't turn the head left or right because it has a shape to it. It looks pretty cool though. It's got like a mohawk. Would it be racist to say this looks like a Native American? I don't know why. I find a lot of these Gundams remind me of like different societies of people, you know. Anyways, the back of this shield is really cool. Looks like it's got some beam sabers and molded in there. And then you can see my finger through this opening. It's not blanked off, so I think that's nice. Now this shield looks like a Zulu tribe, African shield. Again, I'm being racist with robots. So I apologize. So that's a nice long peg. That's gonna have a hard time falling out. It's gonna have a hard time getting out of place. That's really smart. I wish they did that on all the Converges. Notice the posture on this thing is really like bowing more than usual. Well, I guess that one is too. It's just hidden by the wings. Alright, well, I looked up what other robots may have existed in Endless Waltz, and the Death Scythe Hill is one of them, as well as the Heavy Arms Custom Endless Waltz version. This is number 151 in Converge. This one is number 160 in the Converge lineup. Then number 256 is the Shin Matsunaga Gelgoog. And then we have an Gelgoog A, which is number 257, the sleeves version. Alright. Shin's is a MS-14JG. So there's many types of Gelgoogs, it seems. I gotta put this on like an acrylic disc later with a label. Let's get these other ones out of here. So yeah, the early ones, a lot of molded details, right? Look at the rifle here. There's so much in the wings. There's a lot of crevices and stuff like that if you want to like do a paint wash and stuff. Whereas the more recent ones, like 265, you know, they like went back and dumbed them down and made them more like cartoons, right? More flat surfaces, less panel lines. So I don't know what do you like more? I think I like the more detailed ones myself, but that's it for today. I'll see you in the next Converge video. Thanks for checking this out.